Joining me live now is former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. First of all, we have been seeing candlelight vigils occurring in parts of Tel Aviv following this announcement. Can you give us a sense about the mood inside Israel with this latest development?
Well, I'm afraid that you talk to me while I'm in Vienna right now. So I can't tell you exactly what happens in the streets of Tel Aviv. But I can tell you the general atmosphere, of course, is of great desire to see the hostages coming back. There is nothing that we want more. There is nothing that we need more. There is nothing that we had to do more than to bring them back. And it also defines, I think, the general attitude towards this agreement. On the one hand, of course, every hostage that comes back is a great relief for the family, but for the entire people of Israel. But at the same time, this is a very partial agreement, and 65 hostages are still left there. And it will take now a couple of months until this agreement is finalized, for the next stage. When the next stage will take place, will the hostages still remain alive, those who are left there? And whether the ceasefire will hold, all this is quite unknown, and therefore I think the desire of most of the Israelis was that the agreement at this stage will bring an end to the war completely and will bring all the hostages back. So this we didn't achieve. We achieved much less, and it's not the time now to go into the accusations of who is responsible for what. But the outcome is partial, is limited, and hopefully we will be able to save all the other hostages.
Yeah, because the second phase of the negotiation of this ceasefire agreement, which would lead to a more permanent and lasting ceasefire, there's no guarantee or clause in there that Hamas must keep the hostages alive. Do you know anything about that?
We don't know until now. We don't know how many amongst the 33, which will be released starting Sunday, are alive, and how many of them are going to come back in a plastic bag. So certainly we don't know how many of the others are still alive and how many of them will remain alive. And if the ceasefire will not hold after the 6 weeks, then I don't know what will happen to all of them. And this is the fear and the apprehension of most of the Israelis, that think that maybe the outcome is basically a result of the reluctance of our side to end the war completely.
President Joe Biden, he believes that this may be the beginning of the end of the war. If you listen to his press conference, how confident are you that we can reach the second and third phase of this ceasefire agreement?
First of all, I have enormous respect for President Biden. I think he has been very helpful. He's been very friendly, and I can only say that we admire his absolute dedication to the lives of so many Israelis, including some Americans, but mostly Israelis that were abducted in Gaza. However, I'm not certain that after the 20th of January, responsibility of Biden will have any influence on the unfolding of the events. So it remains to be seen. President Trump seems to be very determined and very powerful in his expressions about the need to end everything. Let's wait and see and pray that it will come through.
And just more on the politics around this, do you think that those strong comments by Donald Trump in the lead up to his inauguration, saying that there will be hell to pay if hostages aren't released by the time he's sworn back into office, do you think that had a significant sway in the terms of getting Hamas to agree to this ceasefire agreement?
I'm not sure that it had such an impact on Hamas, but I think it certainly had a certain impact on the Israeli Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu, who correctly interpreted the warning of President Trump that it may affect the attitude of President Trump to the Israeli Prime Minister. And this is the agreement that was ready on the 27th of May 2024. And at that time, the Prime Minister manipulated so that it didn't work through. He agreed now to what he should have agreed on the 27th of May because he proposed this pattern, this format, then. And he passed it over to President Biden, and President Biden announced that he got it from Prime Minister Netanyahu, and everything was ready then. So thank God we reached the agreement now. I think that Trump had an enormous influence, but I'm not sure that this was necessarily on Hamas.
Ehud Olmert, I really appreciate you coming on the program and giving your insights into this, which is a historic day in the Middle East. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.